Liver detoxification, fakery, is the topic of this video. It turns out that the liver and colon are the two organs that are most commonly targeted for detoxification. And the question is, are they really toxic, and what is toxicity? And in the end, there really is no measurement for toxicity in either organ. But this doesn't stop people from sucking down large amounts of olive oil mixed with apple cider vinegar, lemon, and cayenne, trying to get a detoxification effect. We'll get back to this a little bit later, but for the time being, as a general introduction, if you're interested in looking at this in more detail, more than I'm going to do in this short little video, I wrote this article for chiropractors, and in this particular article, endotoxemia, liver toxicity, and colon toxicity are all discussed. Really the only toxicity issue that can be measured and should be targeted is endotoxin. And so this paper is really relevant to any medical doctors now who have gone au naturel or are trying to do detoxification, naturopaths, chiropractors, health food store sellers of detoxification products, as well as people who are buying and not really knowing what they're actually getting into. So let's look at the liver in more detail. And these are measurable conditions in the liver. You got cirrhosis, cancer, abscess, congestion, fatty liver. That is the most common condition that's measurable versus this fantasy toxic liver that people have been promoting. Now, how common think about something that you cannot measure, like this toxic liver versus a fatty liver, which is about 25% of the adult population in America has fatty liver, a real condition. And it is caused by two main things to look at: metabolic syndrome and the absorption of endotoxin from the small intestine. Now, people who are alcoholics also have increased endotoxin absorption. And here you can see the picture coming right. This is from NIH. Here's a picture from that paper. You can see your gram-negative bacteria dump endotoxin, and the endotoxin gets absorbed, and the liver, Kupffer cells, are activated by endotoxin, and the outcome is the production of free radicals and tumor necrosis factor, a cytokine, and the outcome is hepatocyte liver cell injury. Long term, we end up with fatty liver. So the issue here is endotoxin. This is from the DeFlame diet book in the SIBO chapter. So this little guy, endotoxin, is in the outer membrane of these gram-negative bacteria, and when these bacteria in the small intestine are hit with sugar, flour, refined oils, and alcohol, endotoxin is released, it is absorbed, and the outcome is fatty liver. So it can be alcoholic or it can be non-alcoholic. Simply feeding the gut flora sugar, flour, and refined oils, the outcome can be long-term non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. They even looked at this in an animal model with rats where they fed the mother junk food and then the offspring junk food, and lo and behold, fatty liver in the offspring. So sugar, flour, refined oils, those are the toxins. So when someone is flamed up and they have fatty liver, not fantasy toxic liver syndrome, people are often manipulated into believing that sucking down some olive oil with lemon, apple cider vinegar, and cayenne will somehow cure toxicity, detoxify. So this woman, this is a really cool paper, is published. And actually, you can search this if you want. Could these be gallstones? Lancet. If you search that in the Google search field, it comes out Lancet, April 16th, 2005. So a 40-year-old woman, 3-month history of recurrent hypochondrial pain after fatty food. That's right in the upper quadrant area. So they did ultrasound. What they find? They found gallstones. So she followed what? A liver cleansing regime recommended by an herbalist. So across the board, people of all healthcare persuasions tend to believe in this stuff. So what'd she do? Free an intake of apple and vegetable juice until 1800 hours, but no food. 600 mLs of olive oil, lemon juice, several hours. This resulted in the painless passage of multiple semi-solid green stones per rectum early hours of the morning. She collected them, put them in a freezer. So she brings them to this physician. And this physician examined them. And here they are. There they are up top. So he examined them. She, of course, thought they were stones. I'm sure the herbalist or anybody else doing this would think, you see, we've passed the stones. You're detoxifying your gallbladder. Your liver's purifying. These turned out to be simply olive oil soaps. That's all they were. Olive oil that were... that we can see here, they're called soap stones. So minerals and the fat, and out they came. There was no detoxification event. So what have we been told here at the bottom? We have been shown that these flushing regimens for expelling gallstones are a myth, and that the claims made by some are misleading. So the only way to really detoxify oneself is to get rid of elevated levels of circulating endotoxin. And that is done by getting rid of sugar, flour, refined oil calories and replacing them with vegetation and then normalizing one's markers, particularly waist-hip ratio, which is correlated to endotoxin, by eating anti-inflammatory foods.